5:06, so we'll start with the approval of last month's minutes. I can give you a second to read those, Karen. I think Jeff had his own version, but I haven't seen them yet, and we're past the 5-day posting of the draft, so here.
Thank you. I need a cooler air, it's too hot in here.
Yes.
Way too hot.
Wait a second, it'll cool down.
Be perfect for me then.
Yeah.
Seems accurate.
Yes.
Alright, so I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Spending a lot of time.
Motion will pass.
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are
Oh,
two
it's
things
never
that
ending.
we called this meeting for, and one is because before we go to the selectmen's meeting tonight, we have to revise, or if you'd like to, we have to revise the language of the warrant article that we recommended at the last meeting, because the cost went up after some conversations to gather those numbers. So, at the last meeting, and this I'm sure there's more people here because of the last meeting, although the minutes aren't out yet. So we voted to essentially make a binding article at this year's town warrant to pursue building a library at the 2 library lot, the grade lot. So that previous language was, will the town vote to appropriate $100,000 for the purposes of constructing the first phase of a new library at 2 Library Road, also known as the gray lot, donated to the town for this express purpose. $35,000 to come from the existing Library Improvement Capital Reserve Fund, and $65,000 to be accepted as a gift from the Friends of the Grafton Library. No money to be raised from taxation. This phase will include the pouring of a concrete slab, the assembly of a barn frame, already acquired and disassembled bifocal, a roof, and exterior envelope. Further, to delegate the construction of the library to the library trustees. So after some holiday break research and refinement, I'm going to recommend that we change the numbers in that to, will the town vote to raise and appropriate $210,000 for the purposes of constructing the first phase of a new library, $40,000 to come from the existing Library Capital Improvement Reserve Fund, and $170,000 to be accepted as a gift from the Friends of the Grafton Library, and the rest of the language stays the same. So the reason that it doubled is because we looked at the envelope, and by the time, so essentially there'll be the timber frame, but then there'll be an exoskeleton of 2x6 construction, and that kind of added, I don't think we thought about that at first, or we didn't include that in the phasing, but if we have a weather-tight envelope, we should get that 2x6 exoskeleton on too.
We did include it in the original estimates, but the cost of everything has gone up.
Right, like the metal roof
Yeah,
was
so
about
we
$30,000 more than when we
repriced
first
everything.
quoted it out. So, so the big question, I guess, just to you, because Jeff's in here, but I mean, does that number, does taking $40,000 out of the capital reserve fund, which currently sits at $68,000? I mean, are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with the change of this language? Do you still want to pursue it tonight at the selectmen's meeting to have them put it on the warrant?
Yes, I want it.
so the,
And I'm, comfortable enough, I think.
and then, yeah, so we'll see what the selectmen will say. I mean, my hope is that they'll let the voters decide, they'll kind of, they'll put it on, because this is following, strategic planning that they recommended. And also just because it's, there's a certain track record of the town approving this, so we just hope that that is enough evidence for them to put it on. If they don't, then I assume we'll petition it, but we'll have that conversation after tonight with our friends of the library group. So, do you wanna make a motion? Do you want me to make a motion? Actually, I'm moving, I'm happy to motion that we change the warrant article from December's meeting.
Yes, do so. I second.
The other change we have to make from last month's meeting is we voted to go to the budget committee and seek $1,000 increase in the budget that they recommended. But when I went back to math, I think we had a dyslexic moment where we looked at the media line, and we asked for $2,100 and they gave us $1,200, and we can be generous, assume that was a mistake, but I assume it was not. So we would actually be looking at a $2,200 increase at the budget committee meeting scheduled for January 12th. Are you also comfortable going back or changing that?
Would you mind saying that again?
Yeah, so at the last, let me go and give me full numbers here.
Well, we asked for 2,100, but it got written down as 1,200, but we want 2,200, correct?
So the Board of Selectmen recommended a budget of $23,390.
Yeah.
The Budget Committee recommended a budget of $19,040. That cut included $900 in our media subscriptions, which is most of our online catalog purchases. It included a cut of $300 to our electric, which doesn't make sense because our electric bill has doubled this year, as everyone's. And it also included a $2,000 cut to our wages. I got our most recent statement from Sarah at the town office, and we have spent about $13,000 in wages this year. So I think it makes sense to at least stick to $13,000. Our electric is at $900, but that doesn't even include a couple months of pre-doubling of our rates. In our media subscription, that a lot of it came out of our gross basis this year, maybe sort of. So we'd be looking to go back to the budget committee and ask for a $2,200 increase to our budget instead of the $1,000 that we asked for last month. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want a motion? Do you want me to motion?
Oh, I'll let you go.
Okay. We do have our volunteer of the year from 2021 that we had selected, but we still not have presented. So we should
Right.
talk about presenting that in a way that is celebratory, I guess.
Right, that would be good.
And we have to pick, if we want to, 2022's volunteer of the year. So we'll think on that. Don't want to ruin the surprise for all the viewers at home. And then last, library, not quite last, but hiring a new library director. So Lynn is handling the staffing for January, which is very nice of her. A few people have offered to fill in for the positions that she doesn't want to work. So we're okay. We do have one candidate who has applied. So we should, where I posted it on the town website in the state library and advertised it through listservs, I said open until filled, but maybe we should pick a date so that at our next January meeting, we can actually pick someone. Which brings me to the fact that our next meeting doesn't work for Jeff or me.
Oh,
And
Can I
I'm
ask a
wondering,
question?
yeah,
Does it make sense for clarity's sake for Lynn, for you guys to say that she's the interim director, so that she can act that way?
yeah,
Just so that she's not just doing staffing, she's, kind of stepping in some of this other stuff. And if she has questions, certainly she can come here, but at least then she feels like she's got some weight behind her.
And to that extent, do you then want to talk to Sarah about putting her at the director's wages for the month of January?
okay.
Karen, can you make the 26th of January as a regularly scheduled meeting?
Yeah, oh. Yes.
Alright, then I will email to have that changed on the town calendar. Do you want to confirm that?
Well, I have an appointment which will probably end at 4:05, so it should be able to make up 6:00.
Right. We can push it too, we can push it to 6:30 if that gives you more breathing room.
Yeah, it'll be all right then.
Okay. Now what I meant to put. Did you see that, so Fogel's having their Saturday meeting to talk about 2023 plans? I can't make Saturday's meeting, but it'd be great if a trustee could.
I can make
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay, that's-
What time?
We can get 12:30, I think. I'll give you the exact number. I think it's 12:30.
Where are the meetings held?
What's that?
Where are the meetings held?
We either do it here if it's available or over at the town hall.
Oh, that's right, that's what, yeah, we were asked if, in that email, if you could
If we
do
could-
it at the library.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything?
And it was at 12:30, that makes, that,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, I'm happy to, have the library available for that.
Okay.
Um,
Should I encourage Lynn to stay after her shift
for,
or the meeting?
Wasn't it supposed to
If-
always be
if-
a library personnel in here when? it's
or
scheduled?
volunteer,
Oh, I thought George Curran said a volunteer
yeah,
couldn't do
or
it.
volunteer, yeah. So, Lynn could if she's interested, but either Karen is a trustee and she'll be there, so
Okay, great,
we're all set.
thank you.
So that's the whirlwind, of corrections from last month's meeting.
Oh, do we have to officially say that we want Lynn to be the interim, for the month of January?
Sure, let's do
Library director officially?
I hear you motion that, I will
I
second.
motion that. I make that motion.
I will also, maybe what I'll do is, we'll set up interviews for the candidates, before January 26th. And that can be a non-public session, so I'll work on posting that and reaching out to the candidates.
By then we'll have discussed.
Exactly, yeah. And I'll work on getting feedback from the staff, based on the candidates that would apply. Okay. There's lots of members of the public here. Is there anyone who has a question or a comment?
I'd just like to have a point of order. When you have a special meeting like this is not a regularly scheduled meeting, and I noticed you did post it, but you didn't post what you're going to be talking about, and that's actually required, so put that in your belt of knowledge, in the toolbox.
I don't even see what the emergency was, to be honest with you.
Well, I think that
I'm
was
so
a
sorry.
misnomer. I don't think it's an emergency.
That was my fault.
Emergency meeting is if like you don't
Right.
have enough time to post it and there's
Exactly.
something really big has come up. But a
Well,
special meeting is just like 24 hours ahead of time and
Okay.
you should say what you're talking about.
And it
That's
is
what-
24 hours, so
Yeah, I think,
does not count as Sunday or a holiday.
I don't, to tell you the truth, I
No,
don't
I have
know.
the RSA for the Historical Society.
The RSA's one. Well, okay. Steve, good point. Thank you. Any other? Gretchen?
Yes, so you talk about the warrant article and you increase the amount up to $200 and some odd thousand, and you say it's the first phase,
Correct.
so what's the final cost gonna be?
That will be discussed later. I think we don't have time to go into it tonight. So you can bring that to the ballot box with you and tell your friends. But we will be coming out with more information.
How can you turn
based-
around and have a warrant article, and you're proposing a warrant article, and you don't know what the end price is gonna be?
Because
We have-
prices
we have-
are so.
Yeah, we have a rough estimate. We've had a couple contractors say phasing it is the best way to do it right now
I
because
agree,
costs
that was
are.
one of architect talked before about phasing it, but you generally know what the end price is gonna be.
And we do, and that information will be coming after we speak
It's
to the
a
selectmen
secret.
tonight. It's not a secret. It's just we're looking at just phase one
Communication.
right
Well, I
now.
don't know how you expect people to vote on it if they don't know what it's gonna cost us in the end.
Yeah, we hear that's definitely a valid point, and that's.
I
why
know
we'll
you're
be
not
doing-
gonna get my vote for it if I don't know what it's gonna cost me as a taxpayer.
I think we have members of the trustees and friends group who would agree. So right now we're just looking at getting it onto the warrant if the selectmen agree for this.
Why would I
phase
wanna
one.
pay for something, a phase one, if I don't know what phase 2, 3, 4 is gonna be
Yep, those are all points that we're going to be covering in the coming days and weeks.
before the warrant article?
If the
Before the
selectmen,
vote.
just a
our
refresher,
part.
tonight is just asking the selectmen if they're interested in putting it on the
Yeah,
warrant.
we're
We're not
not-
committing to it.
Right.
Well, we're, the
But you
trustees.
brought up the prices and you brought up the cost and,
Yeah,
And you did say if the select board said no, it would be a petition to warrant article.
most likely.
Right,
yeah.
so you have decided.
Right.
So the other
Yeah,
question-
let me just illustrate. The trustees have voted twice now, actually multiple times, to pursue a building project on Library Road. And we have voted to at least pursue this particular warrant article for 2023.
And then the next question I have for you, you said you're going to go to the budget committee, you said meeting, but I believe you meant to say hearing?
The hearing on the 12th.
Okay.
And Karen, I also can't make that, so we're to talk about who can attend.
Oh, I think I put that on my calendar already, but, the
Yes,
12th,
there is.
that
Yep.
was, what is that?
Well, a meeting is a meeting where
It is a 7
the
p.m.
whole
Yeah.
meeting the public can watch. They don't have to wait to talk.
And this is
A hearing is what everybody can speak.
at town hall.
yeah, just like when the town has a big one.
Of the library construction
And this is the budget
process.
committee?
This is, I guess it's their rescheduled one from December 27th, 28th.
Okay.
Alright, any other comments or questions?
I just got a quick one on the director. What are you guys looking at for, how long you're gonna let your ad run for a new director
Yeah, so
to
we'll,
make your decision?
yeah, so we'll probably, I mean, we'd like to have someone hired by the end of the month at our January 26th meeting.
Yeah.
So we'll probably keep it open until maybe a couple days before.
Have you done like the outreach to the listservs and stuff
So
like
it's
that?
been on the listservs and it's
Great.
posted on the New Hampshire State Library
Great.
Yep.
page. So, if there are other ideas of where else we could post it or other groups, we would
Great.
be more than happy to
I'm
spread
wondering
the
if we
news
should,
further.
I wonder, do you have something that's like Facebook appropriate that we could like post it on Danbury and post it in?
I mean, you could share the link from the town website that has the PDF job description.
maybe I'll run around and just do that and just be like, here,
Yeah.
here.
Cause it's only in 2 places, I
Yeah.
think, right now.
Yeah.
How about the Valley News? I've seen ads before in the Valley News for librarians and directors, and basically specifying what's required of them.
Yep, we could. It's more, well, it's expensive, and we figured that since the Valley News doesn't even circulate in Grafton anymore, it wasn't going to be the best use of our time or money.
What do you mean it doesn't circulate?
As in,
Nobody
Grafton does not.
delivers.
Yeah, they don't deliver in Grafton anymore.
Oh.
They're-
I thought they did then.
No, they,
They used to.
last December, a year ago,
Carrie gave it up
they,
after he couldn't deliver the papers anymore?
they stopped.
Then I will say meeting adjourned at 5:27,
Sweet.
and we'll see you all at the selectmen's meeting in 30 minutes.
That's at the town